Marinakis will not be messing around when and if Forest qualify for Champions League. And this player that we are linked to again is showing that intent. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And right now, we are live doing our charity stream with all our YouTube mates. It's on our channel, it's on Never a Foul, it's LB, it's on Coppish, it's on Sava's channel, loads and loads as we try and help literally to save Patrick's life. One of our YouTubers mates, he's got stage 4 cancer. It's now moved into his hips and his bones. If there's anything you can do to help and donate, tune in right now across on the live stream. We're trying to get to 20,000. Thank you so much for everyone who's donated so far. You are literally saving a man's life. So go check that out. I'll leave the link to his GoFundMe as well in the description. But let's jump into the news and let's talk about Yilmaz, because we are back and linked with Yilmaz, and that gets me very, very excited. This is the type of player who can push us on in the Champions League. And, well, when we get to the Champions League, okay, you're not going to come at me. I'm walking before I can crawl and what have you. Let me remind you about his credentials. Currently at Galatasaray, played over 100 games for them, 103 games to be exact, scored 20 goals. For Turkey, he's got international games as well, 24 games for them, 2 goals. He was at the Euros, had a fantastic session at the Euros. Everyone remembers him for cooking Van Dijk when Turkey played Holland. This season, he's had 28 appearances and already 11 goals. And, you know, the ants of you will be like, oh, it's the Turkish league. It's crap. It's not. The Turkish league, in my opinion, has improved very, very heavily. They've been competing well on the European fronts as well in terms of Europa League, etc. So I think he's a cracking player. I am 100% on board for him coming. He's 24 years old. He's in that right age bracket and mode. Got European experience, international experience. He's an absolute baller, in my opinion. Right winger, can play left wing as well. We've got a whole transfer video on him from I think it was the January window. Go check that out if you want full details on him. But that was just a little refresher for you guys. Now, he's worth Well, let's rewind. Forest did put a bid in for him, or at least there was rumours that Forest went in for around 20 to 25 million pounds for him in the previous window. And that was rejected by Galatasaray. But the stories now are coming out that Forest is still interested and will still pursue him in the summer, and Yilmaz does want a move to the Premier League. And if that Premier League club is offering Champions League football, then 2 and 2 makes 4. And this is a done deal. So hopefully this is one that we do get over the line. Now, these reports are coming out, a lot of them from the Turkish side. You could argue it's agent generated, but you know, it is what it is. Let me read you a few quotes from it. It says, ahead of what the makings of an important summer are going to be at the City Ground, Yilmaz is said to be on the club's radar again. According to Turkish newspapers, as I just mentioned, the Reds are not giving up on the player. It's claimed that Forest are preparing to send scouts to watch him play later this month. I say save on the plane flights. I can already tell you he's a baller. And this is when Galatasaray take on Besiktas as well, Joe Worrell's old club. So there's a lot of things going on. The movements are coming from Turkey, not so much from the UK side. But yeah, they think 21 million pounds may be the number to get the deal done, which actually would be cheaper than Forest were bidding in the January window. So how are you feeling about Yilmaz? Would you take him at Forest? Or would you rather have Brennan Johnson, as we mentioned to you guys yesterday? This one for me is way more concrete than the Brennan Johnson one. And this one I'm going to get a little bit excited about. Get your thoughts in him down below. All right, let's move on to talking about the Greek father and some interesting news coming through on his, expanding empire into Brazil. We know this has been on the cards. And there's been reports coming out from Brazil that Marinakis is investing about 100 million into Sao Paulo, but into their youth academy system. Now, he's not buying Sao Paulo, as far as I understand this, and I don't know what that means for his other project there, where he is looking to buy a Brazilian club. He's buying a percentage of their youth team, but as a share. Okay, let me read you the details here, and then I'll talk you through my understanding of it. So, Sao Paulo president Julio Cesar has suggested that Marinakis plans to invest in the Brazilian club. In the Brazilians club will involve future transfers between Forest and his other clubs. I'll come back to that in a second. He's made the comments in an interview, and he has said, let me get his quotes. He says he's now settled on Sao Paulo in terms of Marinakis, and it's being explained that in the past few months, he will be investing in the Brazilian side's youth setup. The idea is a complex one, but would see him taking a percentage of future sales, transfer fees, and other sums down the line. Reports have stated that the current negotiations between Sao Paulo and Marinakis will see him have 25% of the revenue from players, and this would increase to a limit of 40% over the years. Now, Marinakis will be putting, as I mentioned, an initial $100 million into the club. And this is the quotes here now, Marinakis is getting closer and closer because he came to Brazil and he wanted to meet with me 8 months ago. This is the president of Sao Paulo. He goes, I went to London twice and things are very close in terms of exchanging documents. We hope we can announce it reasonably soon. And after it is signed, we will approve it in the deliberative council and discuss it. I have no doubt that this will be a turning point. It's not a sale of the youth team. That's the key word. The assets belong to Sao Paulo. The club is the majority owner and will continue to reveal its identity. Sao Paulo will receive semi-ready athletes with the potential to play professionally, bringing sporting performances and commercial assists. We will have a faster air bridge to Europe. The players who come to Sao Paulo know that in 2 or 3 years' time of performing well, he could be in Europe playing at Forest, Olympiacos or Rio Ave. So it's a sporting platform, just not a financial arm. Okay, so a lot to break down there. So Marinakis is not buying Sao Paulo, before anyone gets any excitement or anything like that. Nor is he buying anything to do with the first team. This is about the youth team. So he's buying a stake in those players. It's going to cost him about $100 million. Now, it is even more complicated because you have rights ownerships of players and things like that in South America. I don't want to go down that tangent just now, but understand it like this. Marinakis has basically made Sao Paulo's youth setup the most attractive in Brazil. And that's why they're going to suddenly get an influx of the best talent in there, because they have this air bridge. If they're next level, they'll come to Forest. If they're decent, they can go to Olympiacos. And if they're like that, they could go to Rio Ave. So suddenly you've got everyone who's in Brazil who can see a path straight into European football, be it Premier League, be it the Greek League, or be it the Portuguese League, with potentially two or three of those clubs already in Europe as well. And 2 of them could be in the Champions League. This is genius from Marinakis. And on top of that, he's got a stake in those players. So he's got 25%, could go up to 40. Now, Sao Paulo can then buy that back after, I think it said 10 years or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. So Marinakis will be able to get a return on his investment. He's a genius in terms of it. I'm simplifying this deal as best I can. I guess the main understanding we need to take away as Forest fans is we now have that source of players in Sao Paulo who can be supplied directly to us. We basically get first dibs on these players. So if an Endrick comes through, or if the next Murillo comes through this Sao Paulo academy, hello, welcome to Nottingham Rainforest. So I think this is fantastic. And yes, it is more complicated than that in terms of the deal and setup, but let's wait till it's announced. But this is brilliant, brilliant news, in my opinion. Get your thoughts in there, especially if you're one of our Brazilian followers out there. Love to hear what you think on the Sao Paulo setup and everything like that. Right, I'm jumping back onto the live stream with the boys. Please do come and show your support, even if you just there to say hi and just wish Patrick well, because he's going through a hell of a lot. He's been told that's it. You know, he's just got whatever time's left to live, and this is why. This is the last chance for him to save his life. So come say hi to us. I'll leave that link on the end screen for you. And yeah, we'll see you over there. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And let's go have some fun with the boys on the live stream. Come on, you Reds.